Have you ever wondered, well, if I'm already pre approved, why can't we just close the loan tomorrow? Or why does it take 30 days? I mean, it's just paperwork, right? Well, here's a few more. I gave my lender all my paperwork. So, what are they doing for the next 30 days? Or maybe you've thought, Amazon, they can deliver a package overnight. Why does my mortgage take a whole freaking month? These are great questions. And the fact is, we've been conditioned to expect things next day or even same day. And after all, we all know Amazon has totally ruined Christmas. So today, I'm going to take you behind the curtains and show you everything that's happening while you're waiting. And why much of this? It's happening to protect you. Hi, I'm Richard Sailing, a licensed loan officer. And one of the biggest misconceptions about buying a home is that lenders spend 30 days just pushing paper around. The truth? There are dozens of people involved in your transaction, and most of them don't even work directly for the lender. So let's walk through that. Buying a house isn't like buying a car. When you buy a car, there's one dealership, one lender, one title, and done. Buying a home, there's going to be a buyer, a seller, potentially two realtors, a loan officer, a loan processor, an underwriter, the appraiser, title company and all of their employees, an escrow officer, a homeowner's insurance agent. Then there's employer verification, a county recorder, potentially an HOA, and every one of these people has work to complete before you own the home. So what happens after your offer is accepted? Well, people think, well, I signed the contract. What more is there to do? Well, really, that's when the rest of us start working. The work has just begun. The lender orders a credit review, another income verification, asset verification, employment verification. That's when we order the appraisal. That's when the title search is done. You get your homeowner's insurance, flood certification, fraud prevention checks, and compliance reviews. So, the appraisal. Someone has to determine whether the home is actually worth what it's listed for and what you're paying. That means scheduling an independent appraiser, waiting for the inspection, writing the report, reviewing the report, and sometimes requesting revisions. That alone can take several days depending on the market conditions. Title work. This surprises most everybody. Before you buy the home, someone has to make sure that the seller actually owns it and there's nobody else involved. They also verify any outstanding mortgages, any outstanding tax liens, or any other judgments, easements, HOA obligations, or ownership history. You don't want to discover after closing that someone else has a legal claim to your property and that there's an additional liens on that property that you as the new homeowner would potentially have to pay. Nobody wants that. And then underwriting. This is the part that everyone hears about, but very few people understand, even loan officers. The underwriter is not trying to deny your loan. Their job is to verify that your loan meets investor and government guidelines. And yes, since 2007, we all know what happened then. We put a lot more government guidelines in place to protect home buyers. They are reviewing the income, the assets, the employment, the credit, the property, debt, and documentation. It's less about approving you and more about confirming that everything is accurate and complete. Then there is the federal timing rules. Lenders understand this as TRID. Now let's talk about one of the legal timing requirements. Federal law requires lenders to provide a certain disclosures within specific time frames. For example, the loan estimate. Generally, that has to be delivered in the mail within 3 business days after you submit a completed loan application. Then the initial closing disclosures. You generally must receive that within 3 business days before closing. That 3-day review period gives borrowers, you, a time to compare the final numbers and ask questions before signing. Now, if certain major loan terms change after the closing disclosures is issued, such as the APR, annual percentage rate, exceeds certain legal tolerances, a change in the loan product, or addition of a prepayment penalty, a new 3 business day waiting period may be required. And these are not lender rules. These are federal consumer protection laws to protect you. So why do we keep asking for documents? I already gave you my pay stubs. Yes. But now underwriting needs one more. Or your bank statement has been updated. Or a letter explaining a larger than normal deposit or withdrawal. Or an employment verification. It's not because we're trying to make life difficult. We don't like doing all this either. But we're satisfying the investor and regulatory requirements before the loan can be funded. Now, why some loans close faster? Some people hear, well, my friend closed a loan in 14 days. Well, yeah, sure. But maybe, just maybe, they paid in cash. Maybe they were able to waive the appraisal, which is another federal guideline that allowed them to do that. Maybe they already cleared title. Maybe their employer responded immediately. Maybe there's no HOA. It's a conventional loan. There's no underwriting conditions. And, maybe they had everything in place and there was no hurdles, no surprises during their process. And everybody submitted the paperwork early. Every transaction is unique. So here's what finally happens. The loan receives final approval. The closing documents are prepared, you sign, the funds are sent, the county records the deed, and only then do you officially own the home and you get the keys. What a great feeling that is. So buying a home isn't delayed because people are sitting around waiting. It's a coordinated process that involves multiple professionals, independent third parties, and legal safeguards, all designed to protect everyone involved. And the better prepared you are, the smoother everything goes. So if you're thinking about buying a home and you're already under contract, keep watching my videos and, like and subscribe and get the information you need to make you a more informed and more powerful borrower. If you have any questions, definitely, I'm here to help. Have a great day.